Since board games are supposed to be played with others, they're tricky to play online. Luckily, a few excellent and enjoyable board games on Steam are designed to be played on the screen with other people. And in today's video, I will also show you the 10 best board games on Steam that you should play. So without any further delay, let's start this video. Number 1, we have Labyrinth The War on Terror. A 2-player competitive strategy game inspired by real-life events surrounding the fight against terrorism in the United States. In addition to the standard card-driven wargame concepts, the game also delves into more abstract ideas like ideological conflict and guerrilla warfare. Next up, we have Isle of Arrows. Isle of Arrows provides a novel spin on tower defense gameplay with its innovative tile placement mechanics by fusing puzzle, roguelike, and board game aspects. Every time you play, you'll have to construct fortifications with randomly generated tiles against an ever-expanding army of foes. Next up, we have Scythe, Digital Edition. Scythe, a strategy game with territory-taking wargames and Euro-style economics, appeals to all board game players. Scythe's digital version avoids setup and offers rapid resolution, making it a good introduction. Playing for a few hours instead of 4 or 5 in person helps you grasp the game's resources, economics, and more. Number 4, we have Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is a Euro-inspired tactical warfare board game. It's simpler to play on Steam than on the board. In online cooperative mode, you play as a traveling adventurer in the gloomy realm. Each of the 17 mercenaries has its own capabilities and over 1,000 abilities to master. Next up, we have Foretales, a hand-drawn single-player deck-building board game with exciting gameplay. As a small time robber, you must navigate a metropolis full of possibility and enemies to save the planet from a dreadful curse. This is done by going to various districts to recruit friends, engage opponents, and experience events with chance-based results dependent on your cards. Number 6, we have Dorfromantik. Dorfromantik is a city-building game for a single player that combines aspects of puzzle and strategy with the familiar feel of a board game. Every game session begins with you receiving a random stack of tiles to arrange on a hexagonal playing field. Next up, we have A Game of Thrones, the board game. This game is a must-play for every GOT lover. Knowing the ins and outs of the Game of Thrones world, you'll be well-versed in diplomacy, military strategy, and more. Players in Game of Thrones take on the roles of houses or clans that want to govern the fictional continent of Westeros. Number 8, we have Everdell, a fantasy-themed city-building game with an emphasis on worker placement and clever card play. Everdell is a port of Tabletop Tycoon's award-winning board game. In order to win each match, you must collect resources, then use them to construct complex buildings and populate your city with colorful woodland creatures. Next up, we have 100% Orange Juice. You and 3 other players start in the board's center. Players will roll to move across the board using their own decks. When you meet another player on the board, you may challenge them to a tactical fight utilizing cards and dice, primarily RNG-based. Playing online makes the game's mechanics easier to understand. The last game of this video is Through the Ages. Award-winning designer Vlada Chvátil created a strategic card game Through the Ages. In it, you guide a little tribe to agricultural, technological, and political progress. Using hundreds of cards and numerous pathways in single-player and online PvP bouts with crossplay compatibility may accomplish this. So that's the list of the 10 best board games on Steam that you can play in 2023. If you enjoy this video, hit the like button and subscribe to my channel Games Puff and press the bell icon for more gaming videos.